All right, tickets go on sale this week for the Anaheim Ducks. They're gearing up for the Stanley Cup playoffs. The team announced playoff tickets for games at Honda Center go on sale to the general public on Thursday. Fans can register now for a pre-sale that begins tomorrow morning, while season ticket members can get earlier access. The Ducks say fans who sign up will receive a code to purchase tickets for any first-round home game. A reminder, tonight the Ducks playing the Nashville Predators at the Honda Center. Anaheim has won its last 4 against Nashville, 4 games. Well, that game starts at 7 p.m. tonight on Fox 11 Plus, Channel 13, KCOP. Go Ducks, Maria.
Go Ducks. How about go Eagles? How's about this?
Eagles, yes.
Yeah, right? I think this is Jackie. I'm not 100% sure, but from what I'm told, some of the markings on her beak, I think this is her. Keeping the little eaglets nice and warm up there, although we've got some sunshine in Big Bear right now, so things are looking good. The chance for rain will start on Friday and perhaps even some light snow above 5,000 and 6,000 feet. So that could impact things a little bit there for the little eaglets. Good Day LA weather is brought to you by My Home Sold. If you are traveling today, we do have some wet weather pushing out of the Florida Panhandle. We've got some rain there in Tampa and Miami, 74 to 79 respectively. Around 40 degrees in Detroit today. Michigan very happy, of course, after that win last night. It was an exciting game. I don't know if you got to watch the final game in the championship with the Final Four that happened this past weekend. Anyway, it was fun. It was exciting, but I knew Michigan was going to win. 90 degrees in Las Vegas, 78 for downtown, but it was close though. It was really fun and close. Area of low pressure offshore. This is what's going to change our weather this weekend. This and a storm behind it. Looking at some clouds Thursday and then some widespread light, mostly to moderate rain moving into Friday and Saturday, and then occasionally, or at least at this point, one of the models are pointing to that chance for some thunderstorms. And then when that second system rolls through, that could bring a little more instability and some colder air mass. So that could bring us not just some snow above 5,000, 6,000 feet, but a chance for some thunderstorms and perhaps some small hail. So watch out for that. And then next week, Thursday, maybe even another system. So hopefully these April showers, you know the expression, will bring May flowers. How much rain, you ask? Well, a little bit as we get into Thursday, but looking at widespread, as you can see through Monday, potentially 1 to 2 inches possible for some isolated areas up into the higher elevations, to about 1 inch in Santa Monica, possible 16/100th of an inch of rain in Big Bear to maybe 1.5 inches in Riverside. So kind of a wide range right now. It's still Tuesday. We'll get a better handle. We'll zone in a little bit more on the specifics of the forecast as we get into tomorrow and Thursday. In the meantime, if you're headed to the beach today, we do have some sunshine expected, 2 to 4 feet. Ventura County, LA Beach is the same. San Diego, 2 to 4. Orange County, a little smaller, 1 to 3 plus feet. There are temperatures in the water in the upper 50s to low 60s. 67 along the coast, 66 on Saturday with that chance for some thunderstorms, but really the showers will start on Friday. 78 for downtown LA, dry and sunny. And then we've got the clouds rolling in by Friday and Saturday with that chance for thunderstorms as well. Valleys, Inland Empire, the winds will kick in, of course, as we get into the stormy conditions on Friday into the weekend. The mountain 66 today in Big Bear, down to just 47 on Friday. The high desert 81 and then down to 65 on Saturday. By the way, Coachella, 1 of 2, right? They have 2 events. This is the first one this coming weekend. So bring your ponchos, bring an umbrella just in case you get caught in that for the concerts on Saturday. 30% chance for showers there. All right, let's do some TV shout outs before you walk out the door. We've got some special birthday ones with some brothers, I believe. Happy 18th birthday to Lucas. Your family loves you so much. I see a couple of athletes in this family, and a happy 16th birthday to Roman. Your family loves you both so much. Keep those pictures coming. All you have to do is email them to us, tvshoutouts@fox.com, tvshoutouts@fox.com. Don't forget to attach the photo and, of course, give us their name. All right, this is my weather for now. I'll send it back to you.
Great picks there, Maria. Thank you. We are just a week away from a possible LAUSD strike. Coming up, we'll be talking to the acting superintendent just ahead. Also, Disneyland bans a beloved Gen Z accessory from some rides, the item you'll have to leave behind.
All right, good morning. Welcome to Good Day LA. It's 8 o'clock on this Tuesday. I'm Jen Lammers.
Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Bob DeCastro, and here's some of the stories we'll be covering this morning. We continue to follow that breaking news out of Ontario. Firefighters battling a massive warehouse fire. An employee of that warehouse now in custody. Rachel Aragon is there, and we will have the very latest from the scene. Gigi.
And coming up later today, an attorney for the family of a man shot and killed by police after they say he shot a man is going to make some very strong allegations against the police department. We'll be live with that.
All right, thank you, Gigi. Also, the Artemis 2 crew has officially gone where no other human has gone before. We'll have the latest on their historic lunar flyby. But first, let's get over to Maria for a check on our forecast on this Tuesday. Good morning.
Good morning. And that crew, by the way, will splash down off the coast of San Diego on Friday afternoon, and hopefully will be just before the rain starts. We are anticipating a couple of storms to bring us some changes in our weather. In the meantime, it looks good. Right now, we've got some sunshine in a lot of areas, and then some low clouds here through parts of Orange County, at least along the coast anyway, south into San Diego. But we are expecting mostly sunny skies for everybody later this afternoon. 52 in Pasadena currently, 56 in Woodland Hills, 60 in Santa Monica, 62 in Santa Ana, 36 in Big Bear, 69 currently in Palm Springs. We do have Coachella happening this weekend. It'll be a little on the wetter side. Today, not bad. 95 with a lot of sunshine there in the low desert. 81 in the high desert areas. 66 up into the mountains in Big Bear eventually. Some breezes. 78 for downtown. That's cooler than yesterday. 80 for the valleys and the Inland Empire to that 67 along our coast. I'll talk more about the rainstorm, time it out for you, coming up just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. So we have some breaking news this morning. An employee is being questioned right now for possibly setting a huge fire in a paper products warehouse in Ontario.
That fire has been burning for more than 6 hours now. We've got Rachel Aragon live at the scene with the latest on what we know. Rachel.
Yeah, Bob, Jen, good morning. We know that crews have been out here for about 8 hours now battling this 6-alarm fire. But the good news is a much better picture right now than what we saw earlier this morning. There are crews out here still, but we have reduced resources because they're getting a much better handle. As I mentioned before, if you saw the video from earlier, I think we'll pull it up right now, you could see the smoke and flames from miles away this morning. One of the reasons why it was so visual and such a challenge for these firefighters is because this warehouse right here, again, houses paper products. This is Kimberly-Clark facility, which, by the way, again, they are distributing and housing paper products like Kleenex, tissue, all sorts of things that would be fuel for this fire. Again, we got an update about an hour ago confirming that one person has been detained and suspected of arson. We now know, according to Ontario Police, that person is a current employee of Kimberly-Clark. Police also telling me that person was detained on the premises, and there were current employees working on site at the time the fire broke out. Fortunately, there were no injuries and everyone has been accounted for. But here's what Ontario Police had to say about that suspect we now know is an employee of that company. Take a listen.
Early on in the investigation, Ontario police officers did learn that a current employee was missing from the building. He was identified as a person of interest, ultimately detained by Ontario police officers and taken to the Ontario Police Department, and he has been identified as a suspect who is in custody right now for arson.
Now, at the peak of this fire, when it was burning earlier this morning, we're told there was about 150 or so emergency personnel on site. Again, that number has since been reduced, but we had people and crews here from Chino, as well as Rancho Cucamonga, Ontario, of course, Riverside, and San Bernardino County. Now, back here live, I also just want to mention, yes, there's some smoke, but we're also seeing and feeling what feels like snowflakes, if you will. It's really just some of those paper products that have been flying down here now hours later because of this fire and all that fuel, again, that's been burning. Earlier, we also heard from firefighters saying, yeah, while it's contained and it looks better right now, they still plan to be out here for most of the day, they said, just to make sure it's completely out and doesn't go and swing by nearby infrastructure. But again, crews have been out here for 8 hours and will continue to do so throughout the day. Reporting live in Ontario this morning, I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, watching some ash fall as you speak, Rachel. Any response from Kimberly-Clark? Are we hearing from company officials there? I know you saw some of the employees, as you said, evacuate from that warehouse. Have we heard from the company?
So far, we have not heard from the company. We haven't seen too many people around this area, too. I will say, initially this morning, they stressed, the police, that they really want to make sure everyone was evacuated. So we haven't seen many people or employees on site. But again, now that the information has been confirmed, I'm sure later on at least we'll be hearing from that company.
And we know there were multiple calls to 911 coming from inside the warehouse, some of them from employees. There were about 20 people inside when the fire broke out. Do we know anything about how they were evacuated?
I know that the police officer we talked to earlier says they're trying to really look at any kind of surveillance cameras and whatnot and video. But given the fire, they said it's a little bit of a challenge right now. So first they're going to make sure this is completely safe and out. And I think that's going to be the first thing they're really going to tackle to get a better picture and story of how this unfolded. I know a lot of us want to know if there were any other employees who witnessed what happened, who witnessed potentially what that suspect did or did not do. So again, that'll be a big question that I know officers right now are looking into.
Well, the fire continues to burn and smoke does rise into the air. In fact, we were looking just a few moments ago, pictures from our Skyfox. So people living in the Inland Empire, they're in the Ontario Pomona area, probably seeing all of that thick smoke rising into the air. This is live pictures right now, so there is a concern here for air quality. If you are someone that has breathing issues, respiratory issues, you might want to stay inside. You might have to turn on your air conditioner to circulate the air inside. But this is something that continues to burn. Part of this is because we're looking at a warehouse that's more than 20 football fields long. And you think of all of the paper products that are in there inside, lots are burning. And right now, firefighters have got a defensive posture on it, so they're just kind of letting things burn so it burns out and the fire just kind of dies on itself.
The good thing is no injuries involved here, despite all the firefighters making excellent progress on this fire. We do also want to let you know that we're streaming a steady shot of the fire. You can watch that progress on our Fox local app.
Keep an eye on the situation there. We've got Rachel there at the scene. As soon as she has any more updates, of course, we're going to bring that to you as well. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Some good reporting there. Okay. A family challenging the LAPD's account of a deadly police shooting in South LA.
We have Gigi Graciette live at LAPD headquarters now with the story. Gigi.
Well, they're set to be here in a couple of hours, family and their lawyers, and they plan on making some very serious allegations against the LAPD after an officer-involved shooting. Police saying they shot the suspect because he had shot someone else and refused to comply with their commands and also had a ghost gun on him. Take a look at the video. This all happened Friday around 1 o'clock in the morning. That is when patrol officers assigned to the 77th Street Division responded to a 911 call of assault with a deadly weapon at a gas station on South Vermont. The caller indicated that a shooting had just happened and the victim was down. The suspect was described as a 45-year-old male Hispanic man. They described his clothing. While canvassing the area for that suspect, police say, and this is all preliminary, and LAPD in a press release stated this was preliminary information, but officers spotted a man ultimately identified as Eliar Real Hernandez, who matched the broadcast description. They asked him to stop. He did not. They observed he had a gun in his hand, which at times he was pointing at his own head. Officers said that he failed to comply and turned toward them, or they felt they were in danger, and they opened fire on him. Paramedics pronouncing the suspect dead at the scene. That police say a loaded 9mm ghost gun was found and booked as evidence. Now, the lawyers for the family are painting a different picture. They claim Real Hernandez, was walking away from officers, and they say they have video that will show that. We've reached out, of course, to the LAPD for comment, but it's only been less than a week, so their investigation is far from complete. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, we'll be awaiting that. Thank you. Meantime, it's been 2 months since the launch of the California Post, and coming up, we are checking in to see what readers can expect going forward. Some major headlines there. Also, Long Beach getting ready for the Acura Grand Prix. Coco is live there with a look at this year's track. First, let's get to Stu with a check of the morning commute. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Long Beach Grand Prix. That's awesome. But we're doing Skybox traffic. And Skybox traffic brought to us by My Home Soul. Taking a look at that 15 drive. We're in the beautiful city of Eastvale near Corona Valley. That ride, though, north or southbound on the 15, undeterred. And it's looking very good. As freeway speeds are better, can you ask for anything more? I certainly can't. Let's take a look at some traffic hotspots, shall we?
Hello, I'm Adrian Hernandez with MyHomeSold.com, and we want to buy your house cash. We'll give you a cash offer for your house today. Sell your house the easy way with no commissions, no fees, no repairs, for free, no obligation cash offer. Go to MyHomeSold.com.
Welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. We do have a couple of storm systems that will be impacting our weather. I know, it's hard to believe, right? It's been so dry. But we are going to look for some sunshine today. So take advantage and enjoy. This is the first of two systems I'm watching offshore. This will be bringing us some clouds as early as late Thursday into Friday. And then that chance for showers, I think, will come after our astronauts actually splash down off the coast of San Diego as we time it out. This is as of Thursday night, so most of the light showers will still be to our north. And as we move into Saturday, there's a chance for some thunderstorms as a colder, more unstable air mass moves in. And that second system moving in, just reinforcing that Sunday into Monday. So there are rain chances through early Monday. And if you're asking how much rain, generally, I think we're talking about a half an inch to an inch possible for the coast and valleys. And maybe in some isolated areas up in the mountains and foothills, we could be looking at 1 to 2 inches possible in those areas. So just be prepared for some of that light to moderate rainfall, occasionally some heavy downpours through the weekend into Monday. Today, beautiful, 78 degrees for downtown LA. That's cooler than yesterday. but it's still above the average of 72. Sunshine in Ontario getting up to around 80 degrees at 3 p.m. today. Out towards Thousand Oaks and Ventura County, sunshine as well. And that temperature near 74 at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. As we look at Big Bear up in the higher elevations, a lot of sunshine getting up to 65 at 2 o'clock later today. All right, I'll show you the 7-day forecast in just a couple minutes. Back to you two.
All right, Maria, thank you. So 2 months in. 2 months. It's only been 2 months and going strong. The California Post has been active since the end of January now.
Active to say the least. The California Post debuted with a promise to readers that it is a new era of common sense and accountability, while also bringing us snappy, sensational headlines that we know from and love from the Post, and the world-renowned gossip column, Page 6, just like the legendary New York Post. Joining us live this morning is Editor-in-Chief Nick Paps.
Thanks for being here.
Hey, great to be here. Good morning.
It's good to see you in studio. Does it feel like it's been 2 months for you?
You know, it's been the most amazing 2 months. We've been running so hard, and it's just now we're catching our breath and going, okay, what's the next thing we're going to do? What's the next level we're going to take it to? But we've had a lot of impact. It's been busy, it's exciting, and really reassuring to know how well we resonate with the audience. That's been great. We've had great feedback.
Talk about the impact. I mean, we look at your social media every single morning, or look at your website, look at all the different stories, original stories that are coming from the Post. But that's part of it, is really that kind of journalism that you want to bring to Southern California.
You know, it all comes back to the story. That's journalism is what we're all collectively here for, is tell stories that no one else is telling, and stories that people want to read, that connect with people. We've had a lot of success with issues like fraud, you know, wastage of money, you know, Sacramento or down here in City Hall, and doing it with a common sense approach. And everything we do is like, how does this affect the average person in California, and how do we fight for them? So those stories that we do on those issues have enormous impact, and it's about great reporters telling stories no one else is telling, and making sure that everyone goes, okay, that's not right, this has to get fixed.
Right. So you have a staff of about 100 people. That's a lot of work for those 100 people to do. I mean, you're talking about the entirety of California, 4th largest economy in the world. How do you cover all of it?
Yeah, you got to pick the right stories. You got to find the stories that are going to connect with people. You can't do the stories that aren't going to move the dial. So for us, it's having resource up at Sacramento, San Francisco, and obviously we've got resources here in LA, and you're working out, you got your City Hall, you got your main beats you got to cover, but also you got the everyday life in the suburbs. Like we had a story today about a Venice the Menace, you know, story about a guy down in Venice who's opened up, he got a house behind a hotel, bought the house after the hotel was there, and now he's, you know, talking to the cops all the time about complaining about noise and stuff. So you got your local
They're calling
stuff.
him the Venice Karen.
You got it. You got exactly right.
I feel like I could have told him that before he even moved in there.
You know what? You know, Venice has been great for us. There's so many stories down there, you know, from homelessness through to these sorts of stories. There's such a great news cycle here in Los Angeles and California. It never stops, but you just got to be really careful. What are the stories that matter? And you've got to have the mix, right? It's news, gossip, sports, opinion. And if you hit the mark in all of those key areas, then you're going to drive an audience, which is what we're doing.
And how have you seen subscriber growth over the last couple of months?
It's been really strong. You know, we've had, you know, 30-40% increase in subscribers, and that's been really, really good. So you can now get the California Post, about 700 outlets around here, and also home delivery is a really important thing. People just go to californiapost.com, you'll see how to get home delivery, and also you go and download our app as well.
There's no newsstands in LA. There's not many.
You know what? It used to be, you know, 20 years ago, you'd be able to get it everywhere, but now it's all about home delivery. It's also the case that this is not a town where people do a lot of walking, right? We're all in our cars, so you get the paper home delivered, get it first thing in the morning, that's fantastic, but also with that app. You know,
I mean, my newsstand is also social media. So immediately I'm already going to the California Post on Instagram, on Twitter, and trying to look at what stories there. That's my newsstand now.
It is, though. That's how people wake up. You know, we've all got this phone in our hands, and every few minutes we're checking in. So we've got to make sure that when we're posting in social media, they've got great stories, they're well told, and it gets people to have a look at it. People's attention spans are so short these days, so you've got to get it in. So we've been really careful about that. But what we've found is with our voice, which is a common sense voice, which is just speaking for the average person, you know, plain spoken, got all the attitude of the New York Post, it's cutting through, because that voice was not there in the legacy media before.
Right. Speaking of common sense, I mean, we've been talking about the Olympics tickets for a while now. I mean, this is launching the California Post at a great time, because you have upcoming elections the mayoral election, gubernatorial election. Then you also have major events that are coming to Los Angeles, like the World Cup, and then, yes, the 2028 Olympics.
You know what? That was a big part of our strategy. You know, look, working out what's the opportunity in the market, but also, you know, what are the big events that we need to cover and how we're going to cover them differently. So part of our strategy is obviously looking at the mayoral elections, which is a really interesting space at the moment with a lot of stories that to be done. You've got the announcement yesterday with, you know, Donald Trump supporting, you know, Steve Hilton. That's a big story for gubernatorial elections. And then World Cup soccer is only a few weeks away, right?
2 months.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
coming out like a freight train. And then there's the Olympics in 2028, which you'll see a lot of storylines emerging about that. You know, ticket prices, infrastructure.
Did you get any tickets, Nick?
No, I didn't.
Because we were waiting for the $28 tickets, and none of us were able to get any of them.
I was going to hit you guys up. If you guys got any tickets, I was going to say,
we thought you knew somebody.
What's going on? But it's going to be really big. It's going to be really big. It's going to be a transformative kind of moment for the Sydney. I remember, you know, the Sydney Olympics transformed Australia. You guys, you know, 84 was a massive deal here. This will transform the city, but the key is going to be everyone coming together and getting behind the Olympics, because this is such a big city.
But everybody should be able to come together. The average person should be able to come together. And I know that when the Olympics were here in '84, I'm sorry, it's looking a lot different now.
Yeah, it kind of is.
The ticket price for the last Olympics, the comparison between that and what we're charging here for LA 28 is significant, and people are wondering, you know, is this going to be affordable? Is this really accessible?
It's crazy, right? I mean, I'm hoping that as we get close to the Olympics, there'll be more that will come up. Your marquee events, a lot of corporates, a lot of sponsors and stuff like that. But the average person, there will still be the event you can go to. You just may not get access to that, you know, 100-yard dash and things like that. You may struggle with that, but I do think there's a lot more to play out, and it's going to be a big deal. And with most Olympics, you have your negative coverage, but as it gets closer and closer and closer, it's a celebration, and that's what we got to get.
So what's next for the California Post? I mean, you've got this staff of 100 now. These little scrappy reporters you got there digging some good deep stories. But what's next for?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we've got Page 6 Hollywood, which is a great free newsletter. We can find out what's happening in showbiz. That's going well. You'll see a lot more stories that are really going to move the dial. We've had success with fraud. You've got voter ID as a major issue. You've got all the hospice fraud going on, which we've exposed. We've shown what's happening in City Hall with a lot of money. You know, City Hall is paying money to protest groups to protest against City Hall. It's like nuts out there. A lot more of those stories, but also the stories that affect you on the everyday life, and also to celebrate. This is a great city. This is a great state to live in. So those stories that connect with the audience and go, this is a good place.
It's a voice that was needed, you know, a voice that's unafraid to ask those questions and to dig those important stories. So congratulations on the first 2 months.
Congrats.
Great. Love to see you guys again in a couple more months. And come and see us, right?
For sure.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
That's good.
Where are you off to now?
I think there's a 9 o'clock meeting.
live feed, by the way, of the birds, the big bear eagles. They're eating right now. Okay, so on to this. Women are revealing what they love most about the other women in their lives, and it has everything to do with what's on the inside instead of what's on the outside. A new Talker research poll shows that grit, resilience, humor, and intelligence are the top qualities. Women taking part in the poll shared that the ladies in their lives have a good sense of humor, are fun, generous, and smart, and even true to themselves. What are you talking about? The survey also revealed the women closest to us are often the most influential. Women named their moms, their grandmothers, their gal pals, and their sisters as the top people they look up to.
They're actually
women supporting women every day.
Right, but they're actually polling people and like, what qualities do you like best in women? You know, like someone's going to actually be shallow when they take this poll and say,
she's pretty.
She's just pretty.
She's so pretty.
I like her hair.
So in shape.
All right, we'll be right back. Oh, a live look there at the Big Bear Camp.
Well, she's going to sit down now. But
well,
they were just eating.
They had a hearty meal.
And they're looking stronger, by the way, every day. The neck strength is on point right now. Good for them.
I was making Nutella fudge for the longest
You were
time.
mentioning it.
Love Nutella.
Yeah.
Love it.
So good, so
So good.
easy. You just like to use the microwave.
Can you bring some?
I will. I stopped doing it because it's kind of...
It's fattening.
Highly caloric.
It is highly caloric.
It is highly caloric. That's a good way to put it.
I mean, listen, they call it a treat for a reason. You deserve it. Okay, everything in moderation.
Is okay, you know, a little bit.
Well, that's the problem. You make a big block of it, and you're like, oof.
This will
Nutella, you're trying that you're eating it, though.
I want to taste it because I've never had Nutella.
We're talking about Nutella because it had a prominent place in the
in Artemis too.
Yeah.
They must be fans as well.
Do we all love Nutella? Is this a thing?
I don't know if is it like a universal thing?
I feel like it has.
Is there anybody out there
that doesn't like Nutella?
Anybody out there?
Anybody
like Nutella? Hello?
We're definitely getting good advertising. I have to say, Nutella.
Producer Jasmine brought up a good point. Anybody who has a nut allergy probably is not a fan of Nutella.
The hazelnut
Correct.
of it.
Well, there are those
Correct.
people. So I'm sorry you're not getting to enjoy it. However, Bobby, we're waiting on the Nutella fudge,
I'll
okay?
make some.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
Bob.
Good.
Don't gatekeep that.
Okay, so we've got some rain in the forecast. You know, I've been talking about it all morning. We talked about it yesterday. So a big weather swing on tap as we get to the end of the week. But today, well, it's nice, so enjoy it. We've got sunshine, but that big cool down will be really noticeable as we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with increasing showers. There's even a chance for some thunderstorms and strong winds associated with these possible thunderstorms, even some small hail as we get to Saturday, Sunday, into Monday. The winds will also kick in as well. But right now, the winds are mostly light, which is good news, coming in from the north and northwest, so cooler air mass moving overhead, and that will help bring the temperatures down a little bit more than yesterday. So we've had this cooling trend, right, from 90 on Saturday, 88 on Sunday to yesterday's 81, and then today we're looking at around 70s, upper 70s, still above the average, though. We had 5/100ths of an inch of rain measured on the first day of April, and perhaps another half an inch could be added to that as we get to the weekend, at least for downtown anyway. 78 today, as I mentioned, above the average of 72. Our sun will set at 7:18 later this evening. These are the highs we're expecting today. 83 in Santa Clarita, 80 in Woodland Hills. Really perfect conditions, right? 82 in Ontario, as well as Corona, to that 95 in Palm Springs. I'll have your Coachella forecast coming up for the weekend in just a couple minutes. But first, let's head back over to Samana, get a look at our traffic conditions outside. Hey, Samana.
Good morning, Marie. Good morning, everyone. It is busy out there. We have eyes on this collision. We're going to take it out to the Sherman Oaks area, where a motorcycle-involved collision has the slow lane tied up. LA City Fire on scene, southbound side of the 405 at Burbank Boulevard, and we can already see the delays adding up. And even beyond that crash, as you head through the Sepulveda Pass, still a little difficult. And this collision, Sigler's still in place due to a vehicle facing the wrong direction following a collision westbound 60 at Rubidoux Boulevard. Speeds down to 6 miles an hour, and the delays do continue. 2 lanes are open, so you can squeeze by, but that's Sigler in effect for the other lanes. Here's a look at a real-time traffic map. 46 minutes just to get from downtown to the west side. 32 minutes your drive northbound 110 from the 405 going inbound. Guys.
All right, Samana, thank you. So get ready, race fans. The Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach is happening later on this month.
I want to say it's like 10 days away.
Yeah.
Coco is live, where the engines are already revving there. The track is set. Coco, good morning.
Hey there, as you can see, I am ready for the Grand Prix of Long Beach. We're getting closer and closer to it. It's such an electric event, all about the need for speed, but a really cool element this year is the partnership with Long Beach nonprofit Creative Class Collective. The artists are beautifying the racetrack, which I think is amazing. And I want to talk here to Roshi now. And Roshi, tell us about the artwork that's going to be on the pedestrian bridges.
So we're going to have a wide variety of artwork from some local artists and people from all over, and you know, just bring different stories from Long Beach into the Grand Prix.
That's amazing. And talk about why it's so important to you to be part of this, what it means to you.
I'm definitely a spectator, so I come to the event and I love to see what happens here. I love watching the cars, and to bring a little of my voice in my view of Long Beach into that. I think it's great that they're finally having artists kind of juice things up, you know, with a little bit more creativity and personality.
I absolutely agree with you. I think it's amazing. I also want to talk to LaJean here, and I'm going to ask you the same question, what it means to you to be part of this.
Just being a part of this collective of talented artists, creative artists from different styles and genres and even backgrounds of murals and graffiti art, it's just an honor. And I'm grateful to be around so many talented individuals.
So much talent. And if you could talk about, from your perspective, why it's important to have something like this to be part of the Grand Prix.
It just kind of shows how Long Beach just brings together so many different styles and flavors of people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, LaJean. Thank you so much, Roshi, as well. And honestly, thank you to everyone from Creative Class Collective for bringing your personality, your artwork, your passion to the Grand Prix of Long Beach. So exciting. That is coming up not this weekend, but next weekend, April 17th through the 19th. And you can believe it is going to be an incredible event, as it always is. I'll send it back to you.
They all look so serious.
They do.
Coco.
They said you all look serious. You're super fun, though.
There you go. There you go. You're looking at they had like their tough guy look going on. I was like, what was this all about?
There's a bunch of sweeties back there. I love it. Thank you.
When the sugar rush kicks in.
See. Okay. All right. Love the vibe. Thanks, Coco.
Great.
Ahead of a scheduled LAUSD teacher strike, Brooke is meeting with the acting superintendent.
Yes, she joins us from Willowbrook at the King Drew Magnet High School of Medicine and Science. Good morning, Brooke.
Hey there. Yeah, so that teachers union says they are 37,000 members are committed to a strike next Tuesday if they don't reach a deal with the district. Now, we were set to hear from the union directly later on this morning, but that news conference has been canceled. We do still, however, have the interim superintendent here with us this morning to talk a little bit about, what they're doing to hopefully prevent a strike, right? What you're doing to prepare for that possibility. And I want to talk about contract talks overall. First of all, let's get to this strike. I know it's not something you all want to see happen.
Absolutely not. You put it very well, prevent and prepare, right? Our top priority is doing everything possible to prevent a strike. We know how impactful it is on our communities, both of course, for our students, our families, and our staff. But we also have to be prepared for that eventuality. And so we've been doing a lot of that work over the last few months.
So talk to me a little bit about where contract talks stand today.
Sure. So the good news, if you will, is that we continue to be in constant communication with all of our labor partners. We maintain dialogue over spring break. We're talking to folks this week. So that's always a good indicator, right? If folks are willing to at least communicate, that gives us a place to start from. So we're going to be in communication. We're available to meet with them at any time between now and, of course, the 14th.
And anything, you want to say to parents, other staff employees, when you hear talks of a potential strike, this is a ripple effect across, the entire district. So what do you want to say to those people?
Sure. So I'll start with the parents. Again, and I say this as a district parent. My children attend an LAUSD school. I know how impactful it is. Many of us may not have options for childcare if our students are not in school on a daily basis. So again, our commitment is not only to try to do everything possible to prevent the strike, but also to provide support in the eventuality of a strike. For our employees, what I would say is we value your work. We know you are the backbone of this district. No one takes that lightly or diminishes that in any way. But our responsibility is to find a compensation agreement that values that work while maintaining good financial stability for the district.
All right, interim LAUSD Superintendent Andreas Chait, thank you for being here with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, I will send things back to you all in the studio.
Yeah. Such an important issue for hundreds of thousands of students and their families. What's going to happen with child care? They rely on schools for food as well, and I know the district is trying to make some provisions for that. So
that'd be a major action.
More on that later. Thanks, Brooke.
Meantime, this is tell you about a major streaming service unveils a new app dedicated to kids' entertainment. Netflix Playground launched yesterday, featuring games with popular children's television characters like Peppa Pig, Elmo, Dr. Seuss's Horton, and more. The app is designed for kids 8 and under, offering enriching experiences that encourage creativity and fun with your kids' favorite characters. And yes, it does have parental controls. It's included with all Netflix memberships, and there are no extra ads or extra fees.
Oh. Okay, what's the hot show right now? Is it still Coco Melon? Is it still Bluey?
There's Bluey is on Disney Plus.
Coco Melon's Netflix.
Coco Melon's Netflix.
Miss Rachel, isn't there a
Miss Rachel is in the mix, yeah.
Okay.
And then we have Thomas the Train was also on there for a little bit.
Ooh,
Sesame Street just came on to Netflix.
I know.
All the seasons. So that's big in our household.
Wow. I like that what's old is new again.
Yeah.
You can enjoy it.
Also, Sheriff Labrador.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Wow.
Listen, I'm not a fan favorite. This is not, Sheriff Labrador was not for me.
Yeah. I'm more of a Sheriff Retriever girl.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. I
have no idea what you people are talking about.
I don't know the show, no. But I Labradoodle, I'm more of a Shepherd.
Be glad you don't know the show.
I don't know the show. But I know these movies coming up.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, entertainment sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. I saw this over the weekend. The Drama, starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, has opened to $28 million worldwide in its opening weekend, taking the 3rd spot right after Project Hail Mary and the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now, the Drama making $28 million worldwide is a big deal because it made back 100% of its $28 million budget and is also the 3rd biggest opening in A24 history.
Wow.
It ranks behind the $25.7 million first weekend for Civil War, great movie, and the recent Marty Supreme's $17.5 million debut this past Christmas. I also enjoyed that movie as well. A24 knows how to bring it when it comes to these think pieces. You know, Marty Supreme, I was thinking about it, the drama. I'm still thinking about the drama. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Brooke was raving about the drama also.
Yeah, she loved it.
And then you spoiled it for me, so...
But again, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys.
It's hard to
Only
keep
Bob.
the secret about, or what it's all, the nugget.
Right.
Secret. Because I started reading about it also,
debate.
and all of a sudden everything says spoiler alert, spoiler alert,
I know.
spoiler alert.
Well, don't go on the internet if you don't want a spoiler alert because people are talking about it left and right because it is such an important conversation.
It is.
And a lot of the critics are having these internal conversations on when we review this movie, do we owe it to the audience and does the studio owe it to the audience to disclose what it's about because it could potentially trigger some people that might have dealt with this firsthand.
Ooh, okay.
So
interesting.
Yes. I think there may be some kind of notation, but not spoiling it.
Right.
Yeah. All right, speaking of A24, they have an upcoming movie with Olivia Wilde directing and starring in the upcoming film, The Invite, taking being neighborly to a whole new level.
Are we expecting people? Can we put curtains on this window? I don't like how they can see into our apartment. This shirt, that's nice. It looks really good on you.
Well, you could tell me that once in a while.
Again, A24 bringing some raw, relatable dynamics to the mix. The film starring Seth Rogen, Penelope Cruz, and Ed Norton.
I love Ed Norton.
Yeah. So Joe and Angela, played by Seth and Olivia, are going through some marital ups and downs.
Okay.
Will inviting their quirky neighbors, Ed and Penelope, reignite their marital spark or just burn it all to the ground? Well, you can find out when The Invite hits theaters June 26th. Do you know your neighbors really well?
Yeah, pretty well.
I don't know what really well means.
Would you have them over?
Sure, yeah.
We have.
Yeah. All right. Me too. Yeah. Well, speaking of neighbors, how about roommates? Last hour we asked you, in the future, would you rather live alone or with friends? So far, 58% of you say just one other person. That's it. You're capping it at 2 in a household. And we have a few comments that you left us. Let's see what people... I'm reading these cold, so let me see. Ooh, Trisha from Orange County says, I'm 43, and me and my girlfriends plan to retire in the same community together.
Yes.
Life is better with your besties. Trisha,
Agreed.
You're a girl's girl.
But they probably will have their own apartments or their own homes. They're not all going to live in some
maybe they live on the same street.
commune inside, like, you know.
That's what Bob... That's his one thing, his boundary. Okay, next we've got... Harold from San Bernardino, who says, live the rest of my life with me and my wife. The intermediate and extended family will be around. I like that, Harold.
Yeah.
Go to foxla.com/vote to let us know what you have to say.
All right. I know we've been talking a lot about overpriced tickets, right, for the World Cup, the Olympics. Let's not forget Coachella.
Oh, boy.
Is this weekend.
That's right.
If you're hoping to snag some last-minute passes, good luck.
Another cash grab.
Yeah. Singers like Sabrina Carpenter, Justin Bieber set to take the stage there. The lowest price for a pair of tickets during weekend one was nearly $1,600.
Plus gas. Plus gas to get out there.
This is from StubHub for a three-day pass.
Pass and gas.
Well, it's 3 days. Right? If you're looking for a single day, weekend one pass, the cheapest we could find starts at $700. As for weekend two, 3-day passes start at $730.
Go weekend.
Okay. with single-day passes surging in the $1,000 range. Might as well get the full weekend at that point, right?
Yeah.
Overall, there are 140 artists set to perform at Coachella this year.
Do people say that the weekend 2 is never as good as the weekend 1? Is that what it is?
People kind of leave it all on the dance floor. Plus, you get to kind of see everything that's already happened weekend 1.
Right.
So it's like...
Yeah.
Right.
You're not one of the first
all
to
the
experience
surprises.
it. Yeah. Plus, if you're a content creator or you make your money on social media,
Right, it's all
you
done.
want weekend 1 so that you can get the clicks.
And there are those of us who Coachella it. Coming up.
Coachella, yeah.
Amanda's taking over after the break with a look at the excitement surrounding Bagel Fest.
What you expect from the event that transforms how you view that breakfast staple item and how you can get tickets right now. Speaking of tickets, and we're not talking about high-priced tickets here.
No.
These are super reasonable. Get your bagel now.
Keep it here, keep it schmear.
Wow. Let's get the traffic first.
Oh, look at the yummy bagels. Which one? Good Daily Traffic is sponsored by law offices of Jacob and Rodney. Call jacob.com. We have a brand new crash to bring to your attention. Heads up if you're heading outbound through the El Monte area, eastbound side of the Tenant Valley Boulevard. A collision took place there, and we have emergency crews on scene. Hopefully they'll clear that out soon. And this is in its final clearing stages. Westbound side of the 60 at Rubidoux Boulevard due to a collision. One of the vehicles went off the ditch, and there's been a lot of activity. Now you're looking at speeds down like 6 miles per hour. It's going to be a little tough to recover, but again, in its final clearing stages. Looking at real-time traffic, 42 minutes from downtown through Mid-City to get to Santa Monica, and northbound 110 from the 405 coming inbound. Go ahead and allow yourself 32 minutes. Here's a look at some other traffic hotspots.
I looked up and just ran.
Maybe we need to seek somebody who does have the expertise to be able to guide us through the process.
If you're getting to an accident,
You're in good hands by dealing with Jacob and Ron.
call Jacob.
Welcome back to Good Day LA. Ready for some family fun? Look no more. Grab your Mickey ears and join Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy in Long Beach as they take a road trip through the magical adventures of Frozen, Moana, Aladdin, and more. Join the magical adventure April 23rd to 26th. Get your tickets today. But Good Day LA wants to hook you up with 4 tickets to see Disney on Ice presents Road Trip Adventures at Long Beach Arena on April 23rd for free. Enter for a chance to win through the link in the pinned post on our Facebook page. Or you can just simply scan the QR code right there on the screen. We're going to be selecting one winner tomorrow after 2 p.m. So be sure to answer your phone when we call, because you only have 2 hours to respond before we have to move on. All right, good luck to our viewers. Now let's send it on over to Maria for a check on your forecast.
And thank you, Amanda. This weather is sponsored by the law offices of Larry H. Parker. A look out towards Big Bear. This always makes me happy. Checking out, I believe this is Jackie, of course, nursing her 2 little ones. We've had 2 little eaglets that hatched over the weekend, and so we're excited as they continue to grow. We've got a lot of sunshine there already in Big Bear. Things are going to change, though, as we get to the end of the weekend. This weekend, as we watch 2 storm systems approach. This is the first one here, and this is going to bring in some clouds by late Thursday into Friday, and a good chance for some showers, even some thunderstorms, as especially the second one moves in as we get into Sunday, Monday. So there is a chance we could get some small hail and some heavier downpours associated with the potential for those convective storms to move in. Anyway, be prepared for that as we look at some big changes as we get to the weekend. If you are headed to the beach today, we do have some higher surf rolling in Ventura and LA compared to Orange County. So 2 to 4 feet, not too bad though, as we get to LA County beaches. Orange County, San Diego, 1 to 3 plus, maybe a little bit bigger, bump up to 2 to 4 for San Diego. Here is your 7-day forecast. 67 along the coast, looking at around 71 by Thursday, and then back down to the mid-60s on Saturday. That chance for rain beginning Friday into even as late Sunday night into Monday. 78 degrees for downtown LA today, down to just 68 on Saturday with that chance for rain. The astronauts from Artemis will be, I think, landing or splashing down on Friday, just in time for some shower chances. So we'll wait and see what the timing, if it all comes to fruition. Hopefully they'll get to splash down under some quieter conditions, and then that heavier or more widespread rain Friday night into Saturday. High desert, 81 degrees today to that 65 on Saturday, and then out in the Coachella Valley, 95 today and dry, but looking at the festival this weekend, 78 with that chance for rain. So watch out for that. Back to you.
Well, it's always good weather for a good bagel. After a successful run in New York, Bagel Fest is bringing the best of bagels to Los Angeles for the first time. Bagel Fest West is happening this Sunday, and here to tell us all about it, Bagel Fest CEO Sam Silverman and local CEO of Boy Chick Bagels, Emily Winston. Welcome.
Thank you.
My goodness, I'm so excited. But before we get started, I did name all the bagels correctly in the box, so I think you have something for me, right?
I think that earns the bagel
Sam.
expert sash.
Wow.
Look at that.
It's like being homecoming queen all over again, Sandra. That's for you. I'm so excited that we're bringing the fest out west. So what is Bagel Fest all about?
Yeah, so Bagel Fest is a celebration of the food and the people behind it.
Love it.
We bring together the absolute best, most creative, most talented bagel makers from west of the Rockies for a tasting competition.
Yes.
So as an attendee, you get to walk around, sample these signature bites, vote for your favorites with our voting tokens right here.
Oh, okay. It's like Vegas.
Okay.
I love it. And this is exciting. I feel like the bagel is back. I mean, I never thought it went out, but carbs are back, baby. We're eating bagels. We're embracing it all.
Yeah.
And why not enjoy some Boy Chick bagels?
Why
right?
not?
Emily, you're participating this Sunday.
Yes.
Tell me how Boy Chick Bagels stands out, and tell me about the name.
So Boy Chick means cute little boy in Yiddish.
I love it.
I was raised in central New Jersey eating great bagels, moved out to California, was like, these are not good. I want my, decided to obsessively try to recreate the bagel I wanted to eat.
I love it.
Figured it out. Started a shop in Berkeley. We've been growing in the Bay. We just, a year ago, we opened in LA. We have 2 spots here now. We have in Los Feliz and downtown. But I'm bringing the taste of New York bagels to California.
Thank you. I love that. As somebody who was born in New York and then moved out west, thank you for your service. Because I love on your website, it says it's not the water, it's the people, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Very common misconception. It's the water that makes the bagels great.
Yeah.
It's really the talent.
It's the talent. I love it. Bagel Fest is going to be great. I think it's a great place for the carb community to come together
Yes.
and embrace what it's all about. What is your favorite bagel?
Everything bagel, scallion cream cheese, not toasted.
Okay.
I'm a sesame. I like it with the whitefish salad and cucumbers and tomato.
I love it. Ooh, yum, yum, yum. So this is all going down in Koreatown this Sunday.
That's correct.
And where can people check out Boy Chick Bagels?
Our website, Boy Chick Bagels, and Instagram, also Boy Chick Bagels.
I love that. Get your tickets to Bagel Fest. You don't want to miss it. It's happening this Sunday in Koreatown. It's going bagel to bagel, the competition over here. And you can go to bagelfest.com and check out Boy Chick, like Emily said, on Instagram at Boy Chick Bagels. Thank you, ladies and Bob. I've got lots of bagels here. They brought lots of bagels for everybody. And Sandra, which one do you want?
Save me one, and that sash looks good on you, homecoming queen.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. So FIFA announced a new rule for women's soccer. How will it impact the game? Well, Seattle Reign head coach Laura Harvey will be in studio to talk about that and so much more. Plus, Kanye West, who now goes by Ye, was supposed to perform at a music festival in the UK, but is now completely banned from entering the country. What we know about this major switch up, we'll talk about it.
Hi with my little eye, some delicious bagels. Fresh.
And welcome to Good Day LA. It's 9 o'clock. I'm Jen Lammers in for Roxy this morning.
And I'm Sandra Enda. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at today's headlines.
Plumes of smoke and ash falling around Ontario after a massive warehouse went up in flames. And now an employee has been arrested. What we know so far.
Plus, a family is challenging the LAPD's account of a deadly police shooting. Now the family is ready to tell their side of the story.
And we are 8 hours from the deadline President Trump issued for Iran. Make a deal or, quote, a whole civilization will die tonight. More on the president's full statement. But first, let's get over to Maria for a check on this forecast. Good morning.
We got a really nice day on tap for us here on this Tuesday. We've got sunshine, temperatures a little cooler than yesterday, but generally still above the average. Things will change, though, as we get to the weekend. Right now, we'll focus on this. Temperatures mostly in the 60s, 63 in Woodland Hills. Same for Santa Monica, 62 out in Ontario, 61 in San Bernardino to that 52 in Big Bear, 76 currently in Palm Springs. This afternoon, it'll get to those 90s in Palm Springs, around 95 in the low desert. High desert areas 81, 66 eventually in Big Bear. We've got some breezes, but no advisories as of yet anyway. 78 for downtown. That is still above the average of 72. Around 80-ish for the valleys and the Inland Empire, upper 60s along our coastline. I'll give you a timeline on what we're expecting rain-wise as we get to the weekend coming up in my complete forecast. Back to you.
Maria, thank you. Breaking news in the Inland Empire, where a huge paper product warehouse fire has been burning for more than 7 hours now.
Officials say it may have been set by an employee who's now being questioned. We have Rachel Aragon there on scene, reporting all morning long on this massive fire. Rachel.
That crew's actually now nearing 9 hours out here battling this massive warehouse fire. We can tell you that at one point there was about 100 or so emergency personnel out here battling this fire. But take a look from Skyfox right here. I believe Stu's up above. You can see just the emergency personnel and the firefighters and fire engines out here right now. I can tell you hours ago there was even more out here. And from an aerial shot, you really get a better perspective of just how much smoke we've been seeing throughout the morning, impacting not just people here, but also being seen by residents near and far. This fire, by the way, breaking out around 12:30 this morning inside the warehouse, the Kimberly-Clark warehouse, which, by the way, houses a lot of household paper products, things like tissue as well as Kleenexes. The thing that we learned about an hour or so ago, Ontario police confirming that one person is in custody in connection to potential arson. That person we now know is a current employee of Kimberly-Clark. Again, one person in custody, and there were several employees on site, we're told, when this fire did break out. The good news is no injuries and all employees are accounted for. Take a listen to Ontario Police earlier this morning on what they had to say about this suspect.
Early on in the investigation, Ontario police officers did learn that a current employee was missing from the building. He was identified as a person of interest, ultimately detained by Ontario police officers and taken to the Ontario Police Department, and he has been identified as a suspect who is in custody right now for arson.
No, this fire is much more contained than it was early this morning. And one of the challenges, no surprise, of firefighters was the paper products inside because, again, that was fuel for the fire. But, again, it is very much contained. We also recently just got a statement from Kimberly-Clark. Again, that's the warehouse company that, of course, houses this exact facility. There's a statement right here where they say, we are aware of the fire at our distribution center in Ontario, California, earlier today. They go on to say safety is our top priority, and we can confirm there are no reported injuries. They said the facility is operated by a third-party partner, and we're working closely with them and local authorities. We will share additional information as it becomes available. Now, back here live in Ontario, I want to show you this view right here. You're seeing some drones being deployed. We also see some smoke, but the other thing that's unique to this fire is just the snowflakes, if you will, the ashes and the little bits and pieces of those paper products we've been talking about. You're seeing scattered all across this area, flickering, of course. Again, that's what kind of made this particular fire particularly challenging, because we were told the fire sprinkler inside the facility was working. But again, when you have so much paper product, that could pose a challenge to firefighters. One last thing I'll say, the crews here tell me while this is pretty contained, they plan to be out here for most of the day, of course, to make sure it's completely out and to ensure that it does not spread. Reporting live in Ontario this morning, I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
This warehouse was 1.2 million square feet, 20 times the size of a football field. What do we know about the air quality in the neighborhood right now? What should residents who live nearby, what should they know?
Yeah, firefighters actually addressed that, Jen, and they mentioned, especially if you're vulnerable, older people as well, younger people, air quality not the best right now. So definitely monitor that. And also there's some still street closures, but again, you're seeing the air quality, and again, a lot of the paper products still flying by, so not the best time to be outside.
Yeah, not only the paper products, but the ash and the byproduct of other materials that have been burned in the fire right there, as we see behind you, as well as earlier pictures and videos showing the blaze that lit up the night sky. There was an orange glow. Rachel, you were there on the scene the whole time. But as this suspect now is confirmed to be in custody, a former or an employee that was in the building, you know, it begs the question, you wonder if there was an accelerant. Obviously, the paper products itself is an accelerant and added fuel for the fire. But as the course of the investigation gets underway, they're definitely going to look at that too.
Yeah, one thing we asked the police about witnesses, because we know that there were other current employees at the premises at the time of the fire and inside. So I'm curious to hear from police what they had to say, what the story was, and what they witnessed, right, of their fellow employee and what happened there. So I'm sure more information will come out. I also know police right now are trying to gather, when they can safely, any kind of, you know, video or surveillance cameras to really get a better picture of what unfolded early this morning.
All right, Rachel Aragon there for us. Thank you for your reporting all morning long on this. We appreciate it. Meantime, developing this morning, a family is calling out the LAPD, claiming the department's account of a deadly police shooting just simply does not add up.
Gigi Graciette is live at LAPD headquarters with all the details. Gigi?
Good morning. You see a lot of people behind me. They're actually here for another press conference having to do with immigration. They're not connected to the one that is set to start in 1 hour with attorneys for the family members of a man involved in a shooting and ultimately shot and killed by police on Friday. Take a look. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning when the LAPD says they received a 911 call of an assault with a deadly weapon at a gas station. The person reported that a man had been shot on South Vermont Avenue. Officers arrived. They tell me they did find a victim who ultimately was hospitalized. Then they began searching for the suspect. They believe they had found the suspect a couple of blocks away. They gave him instructions to stop. He just kept on walking, police say. All the while, police officers say he had a gun in his hand and at times was pointing it at his own head. At one point, officers say they believed he was turning around with that gun in his hand, so they opened fire, killing him. Police say they did find a 9mm ghost gun that was loaded in the possession of Eliar Real Hernandez. It is his family that will be speaking out, and later on they're going to share surveillance video that they say claims that Real Hernandez was actually walking away from officers. Ultimately, it's going to be the body cam footage from those two police officers that will be part of this investigation and determine what officers at the scene just a few feet away from this armed suspect saw. That investigation is still months out. It hasn't even been a week since this shooting. But again, the family has hired an attorney, and today they're going to be making some very serious allegations against the LAPD. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you. We are now less than 8 hours away from President Trump's deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. He posted this on Truth Social earlier this morning, reading in part, quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran."
This deadline has been pushed back a number of times before, but President Trump insists that this one is firm. And so far, Iran is not flinching. The country has rejected a 45-day ceasefire proposal put forward by a number of nations. But the president continues to say Iran is negotiating. And as energy prices continue to rise, the president seems fairly sure a resolution will be reached.
I can tell you they're negotiating, we think, in good faith. We're going to find out. We're getting the help of some incredible countries that want this to be ended because it affects them also. A lot of people are affected by this.
Legal experts say it's against international law to intentionally target civilian infrastructure, but Trump said Monday he's, quote, not at all concerned about committing possible war crimes.
Back here locally, controversy is swirling around Los Angeles mayoral candidate Spencer Pratt after a published report revealed he lives in Santa Barbara County. The LA Times reporting Pratt and his family live in a Carpinteria rental home owned by his father since their home was destroyed in the Palisades fire. The LA City Clerk's office says candidates running for office must be registered to vote in LA County and live within the city limits in order to be eligible for election. Pratt posted a message on social media responding to this report.
They want to try and write a hit piece about me, about my residency, because I've had my family sheltered up in my dad's rental home in SB, and they want to attack me for not living in the Palisades while running for mayor. Hey, brain surgeon, my house burned down. You guys let my entire neighborhood burn down, remember? I didn't have some grand scheme to...
Pratt says his Palisades lot is his legal residence still, and he says he recently moved a trailer to the lot where he now plans to live.
All right, 9:10 coming up. Get ready to explore the world of Paley Fest. The television festival is back at the Dolby Theater.
And Amanda's getting the scoop on all the exclusive things you can do. But first, a check on traffic.
And Good Day LA Traffic is brought to you by DTLA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. As we take a look at our real-time traffic map here, we're going to zoom in on that problem, that accident that has turned into a SIG alert here on the 60, rather, this collision on the westbound 60 at Rubidoux Boulevard. It has become a SIG alert. 3 of the lanes are blocked out of the 4, and so we've got a much slower traffic moving here. We've got 7 miles per hour just after the 215. So if you were planning to get on that 60 right there, you might want to find an alternate route or just wait it out. 38 minutes is what it takes to get to the west side from that West 10 downtown LA between the 5 to the 405. 38 minutes. Northbound 110 between the 45 to the 10, 27 minutes. And on that West 60 between the 57 to the 5, 36 minutes there. Here's some of the other traffic hotspots.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DTLA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.
Starbucks local app.
Welcome back to Good Day LA. Entertainment sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. You can meet some of the biggest stars from your favorite series at Paley Fest LA, which is happening right now at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood. I mean, for example, fans can get some insight into how Jason Segel gets into his role on Apple TV's hit series Shrinking. Take a look.
One of my favorite things is Jason will occasionally, before scenes start, if we're talking to look at me, he's like, I'm going to act right now.
Yeah. That's how you know I'm doing acting, bro.
And he'll go, all right, sorry. 3, 2, 1, acting.
And he'll really be in it. Like he just be Jimmy after the countdown. It's absurd.
Harrison Ford's reaction too. Joining us now, the man behind the lights, camera, and the action festival director, Renee Reyes. Thank you so much for joining me.
What an honor to be with you this morning.
Oh my gosh, an honor with you as well. I remember covering Paley Fest almost a decade ago. Wow. On the carpet, and it's still going long, going strong.
Absolutely.
We just saw the cast of Shrinking talking about, what happens behind the scenes. They're going to be at the Dolby Theater tonight. In your opinion, on a personal level, what makes these panels so fun, seeing the way the cast interacts with each other?
It's that interaction with the cast and how funny it is and how fun and lively. But since our only intent is to honor them and celebrate them, we want to love them.
Yes.
Everybody's comfortable, and that connection with the audience that's there. Fans of television who don't get to experience, we watch a lot of TV solitarily on our phones, on our big screens, but this brings the community together in a big way.
You said the key word, Renee. You said community.
Yeah.
And it really is, because I don't think there's a stronger fandom than television series. I mean, sports, comics, yes, movies, of course, but getting to know somebody that watches your favorite show with you and getting to talk about what do you think is going to happen and the cliffhangers from season to season, it really does build that excitement.
It is truly unique, that connection between the audiences and the people who make the shows. And oftentimes, the creators of the shows and the cast don't get to be with an audience watching their TV show. It's not like a film that has a big movie premiere.
Right.
So to feel the audience reaction, the laughs to the screenings, like tonight we're doing a preview of the season finale of Shrinking.
That's right, because they get to watch episodes as well as a collective.
Yeah. And the cast will watch together with the audience.
And it'll be fresh on their minds.
Exactly.
Let's talk about some of the other series that will be highlighted. Nobody Wants This.
That is our tomorrow night. It's incredible. Kristen Bell, Adam Brody, the whole cast. Just such a fun show. Such a great take on the romantic comedy, and so beautifully shot here in their city.
A very LA show.
Totally LA.
And you're ending the fest with one of my personal favorite and Jennifer Lahmer's personal favorite. We are ending Paley Fest with The Pit Sunday night.
Everybody's favorite.
Seriously, one of the hottest shows on the planet.
Totally, exactly that, and it's really revolutionized the medical drama.
Yes.
Keeping everything so tight and like you're so tense watching that show. Noah Wiley, the cast, just amazing. We're honored to be able to close out the festival with them on Sunday night.
And that is a very loyal fandom.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Well, they all are.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, of course. And now, of course, with the season finale of the season 2 of The Pit coming in hot, there's a lot to talk about. Over 40 years strong, Paley Fest, and you've been there for almost half of it. What do you think is the thing that keeps bringing audiences coming back year after year to celebrate?
It's always new because it's a different show and a different cast and a different group of fans. But even as media has changed so much, what connects us all is the shows we love.
Yes.
And to give the cast a chance and the audience a chance to be together, to celebrate each other. I mean, it's beautiful.
And there's tickets still available for people to go.
PaleyFest.org.
There you go. There is still time, as Renee said, to enjoy Paley Fest happening right now through April 12th. Tickets are still available, and you can get them by going to PaleyFest.org. And you can even submit questions online.
You sure can.
Okay, you don't want to miss this. I know we got a lot of TV fans out there. This is your chance. Have your voice heard. Ask that burning question you want to ask to Noah Wiley. Or whoever, Kristen Bell. Exactly. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next year.
Please.
Yes. Okay.
Terrific.
We'll be right back.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quilban. Good day. LA weather is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino. And we've got a live view here to show you of, I believe this is Manhattan Beach. And doesn't it look so beautiful right now? We've got a bit of a breeze and that onshore flow helping to cool our temperatures down a little bit more today. But it's really the weekend that I'm looking towards because of this area of low pressure. And it's one of two systems that will be impacting our weather a bit, changing it as we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with some showers moving in, even a chance for some thunderstorms as a colder part of this storm system moves in. At least that's what the models are pointing to as we get to Saturday, Sunday, and even into Monday. A chance for some thunderstorms. That means some small hail is possible, even some snow up into the Sierra Nevada, and maybe even locally here, snow levels could drop to near 5,000 and 6,000 feet. So that could be a little bit of a taste of winter again for our local mountains. Otherwise, we do expect about 1/2 inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain for the coast and valleys. Some isolated areas getting up 1, maybe even 2 inches of rain in the mountains and foothills. So we'll wait and see. We could use a little bit more as we continue to fill our bucket. We do have a little surplus working, but a little bit more rain will do us some good. 78 for downtown LA. That's still above the average of 72, but certainly cooler than yesterday. 90 in Las Vegas. Here's your day planner for Thousand Oaks. We are expecting plenty of sunshine today with those highs in the mid-70s later this afternoon. I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Maria. So earlier this morning, I told you how sisterhood runs so deep that it's actually encouraging women over 50 to live together. Very Golden Girls. That means sharing homes, expenses, and daily life instead of going at it alone. Researchers are calling it the Golden Girls model, linking the trend to rising housing costs and a desire for more community. So not just when you're out at a restaurant with your friends, you know, taking the restaurant home, having the cheesecake at the coffee table, maybe. One study found the number of adults over 65 looking for a roommate to split rent with has tripled in the past decade. What do you girls think?
Well, okay, if we were to all live together, we would have to bring something to the table, each of us, right?
Yeah.
To contribute to the runnings of the household. I would cook.
Okay, I would take that. I would bring all the subscriptions for the television watching.
I love that.
Have every
You would have all of the Hulus and the everything mapped out.
I'd get everyone off their butts, get a little workout routine going. I would also cook. I would maybe clean for you, do the dishes if you need.
Did I clean?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, Roxy would actually clean, but
I think
like
Roxy would clean.
I do a lot in the kitchen too, so we could
director.
tag team.
Itinerary.
Yeah.
Did I mention I have every streaming app though?
That's right.
Okay, I have to just.
You're gonna.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
It's your job.
Thank you. Well, we asked you, in the future, would you rather live alone or with friends? And here's what you had to say. You said 59% said yeah, with one other person. I mean, Ronnie in Torrance said I would live with at least one other person, but 2 or 3 is okay.
Okay, Ronnie.
Okay, Ronnie, party at your house.
That's right.
And Dee from Van Nuys said alone, all caps. Just looking at her talking to people in the morning makes me crazy.
You know what, Dee? I don't blame you. I don't.
Dee,
I don't blame you.
That is funny.
Yeah, I mean, Dee, you got to have your coffee.
I get
first.
it.
You gotta have your alone time, your space sometimes too. But it's
I
all
gotta
good.
say, I get my cardio running to the comments for the poll.
Right,
I
exactly.
really do love what you guys say.
All right, well, don't forget about this. Grab your Mickey ears and join Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy in Long Beach as they take a road trip through the magical adventures of Frozen, Moana, Aladdin, and more. So join the magical adventure April 23rd to 26th. We want to hook you up, so get your tickets today. Good Day LA hooking you up with 4 tickets to see Disney on Ice presents Road Trip Adventures at Long Beach Arena on April 23rd. Enter for your chance to win through the link in the pinned post on our Facebook page or link through the QR code right there on your screen. We will be selecting one winner tomorrow after 2:00 p.m. So be sure to answer your phone when we call. You only have 2 hours to respond before we move on to another winner. Good luck. We'll be right back.
And welcome to Good Day LA. It's 9:30 on this Tuesday. I'm Jen Lammers in for Roxia.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at today's headlines. We're spotlighting a local school that's sending a record number of black students into the UC system. Details on their academic success.
Plus, start your engines. Long Beach is revving up for the Acura Grand Prix. Coco's giving us a preview of the race weekend.
And a big game changer to women's soccer. FIFA announcing a new rule when it comes to matches. We'll be joined by legendary coach Laura Harvey of Seattle Reign to talk about it. But first, a check on weather.
I want to show you one of our computer models here because it is going to show you how it's actually quite nice here today. Today, tomorrow will be dry, and then we will have the clouds roll in starting on Thursday, and then the showers beginning, or at least that chance for some showers by Friday. Watch as we fast forward here to Friday evening. I think the crew from Artemis will be landing or splashing down off the waters of San Diego. I think still in some pretty quiet conditions. And then Friday night, we'll get some light to moderate widespread showers lasting through Saturday, and then spotty showers Sunday into Monday with a small chance for some thunderstorms. I'll show you that 70 forecast when I come back. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. We have some breaking news in Ontario this morning. A massive paper products warehouse goes up in flames, and officials say it may have been set by a person who's now in police custody.
Rachel Aragon standing by with the very latest on this. Rachel?
Yeah, crews have been out here since for about 9 hours, though, so battling this massive 6-alarm fire. And while it's pretty much contained now, take a look at these visuals from early this morning. It was really alarming just how massive these flames and really the smoke could be seen from miles away. We know this fire started inside this warehouse. Kimberly-Clark is the company that operates really and runs this warehouse, which houses very personal and typical household paper products. We're talking things like tissues as well as Kleenex. Those paper products really adding fuel to the flames, if you will, posing a challenge for firefighters to really get this under control. The big update we've had, of course, this morning is that one person, though, is in custody and suspected of arson. Ontario police confirming this morning that person that's been detained is a current employee of Kimberly-Clark. We're still learning more information about what transpired early this morning, but we do know the sprinkler system was working at the time and that there were other employees on site as well when this fire broke out. But take a listen to Ontario police early this morning about the person they detained.
Early on in the investigation, Ontario police officers did learn that a current employee was missing from the building. He was identified as a person of interest, ultimately detained by Ontario police officers and taken to the Ontario Police Department, and he has been identified as a suspect who is in custody right now for arson.
Good news again, no reported injuries. However, just a reminder of where we're at. This is an industrial complex. We talked to some people nearby who were trying to get their trailer. They fear it's no longer in existence because of the fire, but it's a very much busy area when it comes to work and industrial complex. This morning, though, not too long ago, we did get a statement from Kimberly-Clark, the company running this warehouse, and again, the employee who works there and suspected of arson. Take a look here. The statement reads, "We are aware of the fire at our distribution center in Ontario, California earlier today." They go on to say safety is our top priority, and we can confirm there are no reported injuries. The facility is operated by a third-party partner, and we are working closely with them and local authorities. We will share additional information as it becomes available. Now, back here live, I want to show you while the fire has become more and more contained and resources have diminished, I want to show you just the air quality and those paper products, of course, flying through this area. You can see right here, this is something that firefighters talked about earlier. While there's been no injuries, they do want want to advise people in this area about the air quality, and again, be mindful of that because this fire is still going. And fire crews also say while it's mostly contained, they plan to be out here throughout most of the day to make sure everything is completely out and doesn't go to nearby areas. But again, no injuries to report and one person in custody suspected of arson. Reporting live in Ontario this morning, I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, that air quality, a big concern there. All right, Rachel, thank you. On to this now. Authorities have confirmed the discovery of human remains at a popular Long Beach park. From Sky Fox, you can see a team from the medical examiner's office clearing dirt away from a skull. Investigators also recovered a jawbone yesterday. The shocking find was made Sunday during an Easter egg hunt at DeForest Park and Wetlands. The discovery was made just feet away from the entrance of the park's walking path, where locals often head out for exercise or daily walks.
I know pretty much a lot of the guys that come through, you know what I'm saying, and it's pretty harmless, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. We haven't had too many weirdos up in and around here.
I hope that, like I said, I hope it's nobody young, at least hopefully. I know everybody's life matters, but if it's no little girl, little boy.
The medical examiner is now working to determine whose remains that belongs to and how they ended up at the park.
West Hollywood, meantime, has voted on the fate of the Brick Gym, a cultural landmark tied to WeHo's LGBTQ+ history. As developers push for new luxury housing, critics argue this threatens affordable housing and the city's heritage. Community concerns are growing, especially with a new state law starting in July that could cut parking requirements near transit stops, although the Metro K line won't reach the area until 2041.
We have 5 members of the City Council who we hope to persuade to support our appeal because we feel that this project should be sent back to the drawing boards.
There are a lot of developments coming in, and what they're doing is that they are systematically and deliberately destroying our communities.
We have a lock of votes of 3 City Council people. All they care about are their photos and future campaign mailers. All they care about is putting the shovel into the ground and having their photo taken, but they don't care about the residents.
4 members voted to uphold the approval of the project, allowing it to move forward.
Starting May 4th, Amtrak is adding a new daily Pacific Surfliner round trip between Los Angeles and San Luis Obispo. This gives commuters and travelers along California's Central Coast more choices. Now there will be 6 daily trips to Goleta and 3 to San Luis Obispo, making it easier to travel between LA, Ventura, Santa Barbara, and SLO communities. You can plan your trip online. There's a 20% discount for travel through mid-July.
Well, getting into college is no easy feat, but one local school is fighting the odds, helping a record number of black students attend University of California schools.
Shining a spotlight on their incredible achievement, Brooke is at King Drew Magnet High School of Medicine and Science with some excited kids behind you, Brooke.
Yes, some very excited kids. I'm in the middle of a really cool program. This is a celebration of the class of 2026, but not only that, it's a celebration of the legacy here at King Drew. So would you know, the University of California has admitted more students from this very school than any other high school in the world since 1997. I have 2 of those very students, my friend Serene, my friend Buka, going to Berkeley, going to UCLA, and they are very excited. I hear, you guys, that it means something to go to King Drew. Is that right?
Yes, it does mean something to go to King Drew. King Drew instills so many core values in us that I'll take with me for the rest of my life, and I'm so fortunate to have come here.
You ready for college? Yes, I'm super excited to meet you, being a part of the King Drew legacy.
It's really good. I know King Drew has a lot of history, and I'm glad to be part of the future legacy as well.
I'm proud for both of you. Congratulations. You're going to have the best time. I've been, interacting with you a little bit here during this assembly. We've been paying attention. We have been paying attention, right? Yes, but I know you guys are going to do great. It's awesome. Yeah, stay right here, though. Don't leave. Come on over here, friends. Okay, we also have Mrs. Golden, their counselor, and Dr. Givens, a King Drew alum, also a Harvard professor, a little bit of everything, right? So talk to me. I was just talking to the kids. They say it means something to be a King Drew graduate. Is that right?
Absolutely. It means a lot to be a King Drew graduate because this school has such a wonderful legacy for decades, graduating so many black and brown students and sending them off to some of the most prestigious universities around the world, all because of the wonderful leadership and education provided by caring teachers and school administrators here and alumni of the school coming back and pouring into the current generations of students. And it's a beautiful thing.
Mrs. Golden, there's a lot of talk about beating the odds, but it's really more than that here, because I think the thing is that this is expected. These kids are smart. Of course these kids are going to college. I just heard their principal talking about a 100% graduation rate, and he wasn't surprised about that. This is more about beating the narrative that is often incorrect, right?
Yes, exactly. It's about beating the narrative. It's about having high expectations. It's about positively pouring into the lives of young people and knowing that they can and they will succeed.
It really is about changing the narrative when it comes to who belongs to elite institutions. These kids inherently belong.
Absolutely. You know, the legacy of King Drew is that it teaches students that we have strengths and we have the resources that we need from the families we come from, the community that we come from, and those are gifts that we have to empower ourselves and to offer gifts to the world, right? So it's not something that you're taught that you need to prepare in order to kind of compete and rise to someone else's standards outside of here, but we hold high expectations for ourselves within our communities with people who look like us, with people who love us, and that's the standard, that's the norm.
That's the standard, that's the norm. I love that. Yeah, this is the norm. Take a look behind my new friends here. This is the class of 2026, and as you can see, they are all wearing their college gear because they are all going to college, and we're really proud of them. I'll send things back to you all in the studio.
So proud. 100% graduation rate. Amazing. Thank you, Brooke. This is also amazing. The Artemis 2 crew headed home now after a historic trip around the moon.
Able to get a view out of window 1, which is a beautiful view. I can see the entire moon that they're looking at.
That was the voice of SoCal native Victor Glover talking to Mission Control as the crew got a front row seat to look at the far side of the moon. The Orion capsule shattered the distance record set by Apollo 13, reaching more than 252,000 miles away before swinging behind the moon and starting the journey home. Last night, crew members reflected on their trip, which has been marked by ongoing problems, by the way, with the capsule's toilet.
How you pack is a huge impact to how you will live on the journey. And so things like food and your hygiene products, and then, you know what's going on with our waste management system, the technology that we have, practicing that and being familiar with that and being prepared.
I'm glad you said it, or else I was. We definitely have to fix some of the plumbing.
I'm not ready to go home. I can't believe that something this cramped of quarters can fly by and still be fun every single minute.
They really are a family now. They really got to know each other. Artemis 2 is expected to return to Earth on Friday with a planned splashdown off the coast of San Diego. So inspiring.
Can't wait for that. Super exciting. All right, the talk, of course, we're all talking about it. The FIFA Men's World Cup happening in less than 70 days here. But there is a groundbreaking change to the women's game announced this year that will impact competition. FIFA announcing last month new rules promoting gender inclusiveness at the highest levels. Now, each team in a FIFA's women's competition at all age levels must have at least one woman as head coach or assistant coach, one medical staff member be a woman, and at least two officials on the team bench be women as well. So joining us to talk about this and so much more is three-time NWSL Coach of the Year, the second woman ever to earn a U.S. Soccer Pro license. And before heading up Seattle Reign, she led Arsenal to 3 consecutive league titles, also 2 Continental Cups, on and on the resume goes. To say Laura Harvey knows how to lead a team of professional women soccer players is an understatement. You are known to be a winner of all sorts at so many levels. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So talk about this new change, the FIFA announcement last month. It's kind of a big game changer in terms of the landscape of women's soccer as we'll know it going forward.
Yeah, it's huge. I think representation is massive. And I think for a long time, everyone believed that there wasn't enough women out there qualified to be able to take on these roles. But I think that narrative is now changing. And for FIFA to put in a rule where the people who hire have to look at women along the way, I think is a huge step in the right direction for our sport.
So this is going to change, and the fact that it's going to impact the World Cup for women next year in Brazil already, and at all age levels. How difficult is it, though, that the talent, is it there in terms of coaching, staffing, medical staff as well? Are enough women entering those channels of the sport to make sure that this rule actually sticks?
Yeah, I think definitely women out there for sure. I think the opportunities to be hired have always been challenging. And like I said, I think that for a long time it's been about educating female coaches or leaders or athletic trainers, whatever field they may be in. And now it's about giving them the opportunity. And this rule brings about that opportunity. And visually, for people to be able to see women on the sidelines, see them on the bench, whether it be as a coach or in the medical field or whatever leadership role they're in, I think it's just such a game changer for our sport. And I think will elevate how many women get involved in the sport and continue to stay in it.
I know for the younger generations, it does mean a lot. I have a daughter who plays soccer. Seeing a woman coach, a female coach, somebody on the sidelines supporting you, even within the staff of an organization, means a lot because they see different paths for them as well. What were some of the biggest challenges for you? Because you were the only second woman ever to get that pro license. It is a difficult path. Yeah, I mean, it's a male-dominated field. You know, traditionally, soccer's been a male-dominated sport for a long time, especially back in England, where I'm from. So it's always been challenging, but I think I was very lucky that I got given opportunities along the way. People saw something in me that maybe I didn't see when I was young, and gave me those opportunities. And that's something that I'm really passionate about, is give women the opportunity, because when you do it, it really pays off. I think you look at Jill Ellis, two-time World Cup champion, Serena Wegman, won her third Euro competition as a head coach. There's so many women out there that can prove that when you invest in them, that it's a positive thing, and this rule will just advocate for that even more. And soccer is such a unique sport because you play as a team, but every woman out there, player or on the sideline, it's also very individualistic because there's so many coveted spots that's very competitive to even get that role. But I also think the unique dynamic of soccer as a sport is that women who have entered the field and the sport and the industry do tend to lift each other up. Yeah. Have you found that you really feel kind of a bond between other women coaches or other women in management that really help each other? Yeah, definitely. I think I'm part of a mentorship program where I'm a mentor with FIFA, and there's about 20 women from around the world who work for their federations who are mentees, and that's a huge area where you can just see this camaraderie together of everyone want to try and uplift each other. And even women in the highest of roles, like Emma Hayes, as an example, who is obviously the head coach of the women's national team, is so supportive of anyone around her who she can elevate, and I've been lucky enough to be able to get a little bit of that support, and there's definitely a camaraderie with everyone because I think everyone's appreciated how difficult it has been to even get into these roles. Difficult indeed, because just a statistic here, 10 of 32 teams in the 2023 Women's World Cup had a female coach. That's not a lot. No. And now you're saying every team must have either a head or assistant coach. That's going to be huge, seeing that on the sidelines. What are you expecting going forward in terms of the support? Because it takes financial investment to invest in women getting licenses, getting these jobs. Do you see that landscape changing? Yeah, and I think FIFA already have that in place too, which is great. I think this mentorship that I'm part of shows that. And now it's about giving those people the opportunities to go out there and do the job. Because I think for a long time it's been about people didn't have the education. But I do believe that a lot of women do have that education. And now it's about giving them the opportunity of actually having the role and having the job and going out and doing it, which this rule will definitely allow for that. Any big challenges you foresee going forward? I think just time. I think, you know, anyone taking a new role or being in a new job, they often need time. Even in like the NWSL here out in the States, there's only 4 women head coaches right now in the league out of 16 teams. And all I ever hope is that they get time to show what they can do, because it's, you know, it's a business at the end of the day. So I totally understand it. But I think that's the challenge, is can people be patient and give these people time? I think a lot of people will be calling you, hitting you up for advice. Thank you so much, Laura, for your time. Thank you. Jen, back to you.
There, Sandra. Okay, thank you. So meantime, Long Beach is the place to be for all the gearheads and race car fans. The city is preparing for the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach later on this month, and that is where we find Coco McAvoy live near the racetrack where the action is already getting started. Good morning.
Hey there, the action is getting started. In the distance, you can hear the engines revving as well. So much excitement surrounding the Grand Prix of Long Beach coming up in the next couple of weekends. I'm here with Chris now, who's the Director of Communications. So tell us about all of the excitement surrounding today.
Yeah, this is the day that we sort of preview the track for media and, you know, some guests and all of that. But basically, it's the first time cars are on the track for this year. we're 10 days from the event, and things are really ramping up. And you can see here we've got pace cars and we've got race cars out, Indy cars, all that kind of stuff. It's an exciting day.
It is, and we were talking about how you've got some new things cooking for this year, right?
Yeah, we're trying to improve the customer experience. We've got new grandstand seats, 10,000 of them. It's part of a 3-year improvement plan for the racetrack. You can see behind us here, we've got some new suites and things like that. So little things that we're trying to do to improve the experience here. We're always trying to grow and evolve and make things better.
And talk about what the Grand Prix means to Long Beach, why it's such a staple event every year.
Yeah, it's the biggest event here in town, and we're in year 51, our second half century, if you will. So we're excited that we're going to have bringing a lot of people into town. We're expecting close to 200,000 people over the 3 days. It's going to be pretty big, and this event, we bring everybody to the downtown, so it's not just racing, it's really a festival.
Love that. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. I love that. Not just racing, it's really a festival, and I think that really helps really talk about what the Grand Prix of Long Beach means. It's happening April 17th through the 19th. I'll send it back to you.
Oh, yeah, I hear all those cars in the background. I love it.
Revving.
That's right. Okay, we'll be right back. Meantime, we want to remind you can watch the Acura Grand Prix right here on Fox.
We have some weather that's headed our way, so get ready for that. Not today. Today we'll get to enjoy sunshine, and tomorrow as well. But it's really going to be Friday into the upcoming weekend. Here's that first low pressure system we're watching. The pattern moving in Friday into Saturday, and another one behind it, kind of reinforcing it Sunday into Monday. And even next week, another one we're watching for Thursday. So we're changing the pattern a little bit, which is nice, right? Some April showers will bring May flowers. That's the expression. So hopefully we will get a little bit of rain here spread spread out over several days, starting Friday into Monday. But today, sunny, 78 degrees, a little cooler, just because we have this cooler air mass moving in with the wind on the light to moderate side coming out of the northwest. Our sunset time later this evening at 7:18. If you're headed to the beach today, lots of sunshine, 2 to 4 feet Ventura, LA County beaches the same, 1 to 3 plus Orange County, and then San Diego 2 to 4 feet as well. Here's our 7-day forecast. 67 sunny along the coast. We've got the rain moving in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even as late as Monday. We'll get a chance for some thunderstorms as well. 78 and sunny downtown, 68 on Saturday with that stormy weather possible. 80 degrees for the valleys and the Inland Empire. Really nice, actually. And then cooling down to just 70 by the weekend. 66 up into Big Bear. Chance for some snow above 5,000 and 6,000 feet, which will be a nice little surprise for us. A little taste of winter again. But 81 in the high desert to 65 on Saturday. And then the Coachella Valley. The festival begins this weekend, so bring your umbrella or poncho. 78 degrees just in time for Saturday's concerts. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. Tickets go on sale this week for the Anaheim Ducks, who are gearing up for the Stanley Cup playoffs. The team announced playoff tickets for games at Honda Center will go on sale to the general public Thursday. Fans can register now for a pre-sale that begins tomorrow morning, while season ticket members can get even earlier access. The Ducks say fans who sign up will receive a code to purchase seats for any first-round home games. And a reminder that tonight the Ducks will play the Nashville Predators at the Honda Center. Anaheim has won its last 4 games against Nashville. That game starts at 7 o'clock tonight on Fox 11 Plus, Channel 13 KCOP.
All right, coming up next at 10 a.m., good news for rapper Lil Nas X after he faces a judge over charges that he assaulted LAPD officers during a bizarre incident last summer.
Plus, not so good news for the rapper known as Ye, why he is being banned from entering the UK.
And we'll have an update on that lone gray wolf that was spotted in Los Angeles County earlier this year, where he's been spotted recently.